Why don't you walk us through a little bit how Caddy for a Cure all came to be?
Thanks. You know, it's really a great story, and of what has turned out to be a very compelling one. As God would have it, here I am as a golf professional down at Woodfield Country Club in South Florida, and just doing my day-to-day duties. And one day, a big, tall guy, great-looking guy, walked in the office and had been pitching for then the California Angels. Had the old smiley face on the elbow, Tommy John surgery. I like to say before it was cool to have. Now they come out and throw 2 miles an hour faster.
Right.
Back then it ended the pitching career, and he'd made enough money in baseball that he wanted to do something he really loved to do, and that was play golf, and he wanted to get in the golf business. So I hired him, and we became life and eternal friends almost immediately. A great man, a Christian man, and he became my assistant. And we worked together for several months, and during that time, his wife was pregnant, and she gave birth to their second child, Christian, back on August 25th, 1993. And Christian was born with a rare bone marrow disorder called Fanconi anemia. And it's a pretty devastatingly ugly disease. They're born with a lot of birth defects. It's being a bone marrow disorder, they're very, very small. A bone marrow transplant is absolutely necessary for survival of the patient.
Wow.
And this was my first touch, Bill, with a disease like this, almost family. I consider the Collins family my family, and we were living and dying with Christian and his disease and all the various operations and surgeries that he had to go to. They're typically born without a few fingers, and they're born without the radius bone on the right hand, so their hands are deformed. And you know, it really impacted me. And I said, somehow, Bill, in my life, somehow, some way, I wanted to make an impact on this disease. I just didn't know how. And I guess you could say Caddy for a Cure was born then. And kind of fast forward, they had 2 more healthy boys, Cameron and Connor, both doing great. And their 5th child, Kalen, born 5 years later, also has the disease. And he might even be a little bit worse off than Christian as far as some of the deformities and whatnot.
Now,
and,
is it hereditary?
It is a hereditary disease. Very rare. There's only maybe about 3,000 cases worldwide, but
Wow.
Obviously to those 3,000 cases,
Sure.
It is their world, and it's devastating. So really fast forward, we've already gone through a little bit of my career with Bernhard and how it all came out, but when that call came from the British Open and asked me to come out and caddy full-time on the PGA Tour, and I took him up on it and started out on the PGA Tour full-time week after week, I felt a lot of envy. I felt a lot of people on the other side of the ropes that were saying, boy, wouldn't that be cool to one day go spend a day with Phil Mickelson or Sergio Garcia or Ernie Els.
Right.
And I kind of had an idea. I thought, boy, you know, this is a great way for us to raise money for charity. And as I mentioned, I had this passion for wanting to make an impact on this disease. So I went to the tour, and we sat down and discussed Caddy for a Cure, and they got their arms around it, and we went to the government and got our IRS 501c3 status in order, and Caddy for a Cure was born. And the tour really gave us the full thumbs up and gave us their blessings, and we've now done over 100 positive experiences in our 5 years now, as I mentioned, just starting our 6th year, and it's just fantastic out there.
Now, what exactly happens? I mean, why don't you share with the people what exactly goes on?
You become caddy for a day. And
Really?
yeah, we let you come on out and partner up with one of these tour players.
Now, this is in one of the practice rounds.
Practice round or pro-am.
Okay.
We sell these opportunities for you to come inside the ropes, and you get the whole shooting match. You get to be caddy for a day and come out and find what it's like to actually be partnered and be intimately involved with every shot, every move that they make from the moment they arrive at the golf course in the morning. You go with them to the practice tee, you're on the putting green, you're standing there amongst all these great players, and you get to hear a lot of the barb that goes out on the PGA Tour and what these great players are talking about. But most interestingly, you get to be a partner for a day. You know, you can say that you played golf with one of these great players, but Bill, you know, if you and I play golf and you hit it down the right side and I hit it down the left side, we part ways at the tee.
Sure.
And maybe you hit it to the right side of the green, I hit it to the left or the back or the front. At the end of that hole, even though we've spent 20 minutes together on that hole, our amount of interactive time and conversation...
Virtually nothing.
Virtually nothing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got to play with Bill Keller today,
Right.
and I got to spend a nice day with him. We had a great day out playing golf. But if I'm caddying for you, we're intimately tied at the hip because I've
Sure.
got your clubs.
That's right.
You're not going to hit one shot without me. And furthermore, if you're one of the best players in the world, I get to see how you're going to attack this. Wind direction, yardage, up and down, type of grass, where the ball, where the good spots are to miss, where the bad spots are. Whether you're a 25 handicapper or whether you're a 5 handicapper or a +5, there's something for you to learn out there by being there. And the tour caddy goes along with you. The most common comment that we get is, wow, those bags are heavy. And the tour players know that you're a rookie caddy, and they do everything they can to make the bags as light as they possibly can. And in the unlikely event that, Bill, you go out 6, 7, 8 holes and, wow, this is a little harder than I thought it was, the tour caddy, we do this every day, day in and day out, and they're there right there for you, and they'll pick up the bag and carry it a few holes, give you a little rest, give you a break.
Right.
And we encourage you to stay right along and, maybe fill a divot in or rake a bunker, but you're there, again, working with the player and the tour caddy during his entire round.
Wow, that's something. Now, how does a person get this opportunity?
Well, the best way we like to encourage people is to go to our site, which is www.caddyforacure.com, and we spell it with a Y, CADDYFORACURE. And there you'll find a whole schematic of our whole season, and that'll be constantly changing as we get more players to commit and come on and come off. But Caddy For A Cure is our site, and you can learn all about all the charities that we support, and you can see all the players and all the venues that they're going to be coming up at. And we just encourage you to go on there and have a look at it, and that'll take you, we run live auctions.
I was going to say, so basically the people, if they want to be a caddy for one of these players, they basically bid on that opportunity.
Right. For example, one of our next events coming up is we've got one real great thing coming up in Dallas. We're actually going to expand Caddy For A Cure this year into the celebrity world. We've got the great comedian and entertainer George Lopez.
Oh, yeah.
Is going to be our first caddy celebrity.
Wow.
We're actually some lucky fan's going to have the chance to not only get on the golf course at Colonial in Fort Worth, but you're actually going to have a chance to spend the whole day with George Lopez, and I'm sure there's going to be a few laughs there. But we've also got Justin Leonard and Chad Campbell, 2 famous Texans, Ryder Cup superstar Stuart Sink. And all you do is go to our site and click on those players, and it'll take you right to the auction. It'll give you all the other materials that you get. We give you about $2,000 worth of retail stuff along with it. Plus, we get a photographer out there. You get about 500 pictures of you while you're out there caddying during the day. We burn to a CD and then an autographed picture of you and your player.
That's great.